Aloha, this is Pastor John Kaiwi, and I want to dive into a topic that has a lot of relational value as far as our humanity today and how the decline of the culture has really progressed as far as how we dress today. So, there's biblical instruction on how we need to dress in public. And you can see the decline. If you have been on the planet longer than 50 years, you'll see how there was a standard of dress and now there's really no standard. Women are dressing more provocative today than ever before. There's a lot of things that shouldn't be dressed that women are, and it really literally just hurts the virtue of how women are and how beautiful they are. And even men, they are not subjugated outside of this. They also dress very promiscuous as well and provocative. And that needs to stop. Well, what does the Bible say about it? Well, it says to dress modestly. The biblical instruction to dress modestly is found in 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 9. And it basically says likewise also that women should adorn themselves in respectable apparel with modesty and self control, not with braided hair and gold and pearls or costly attire. Now, no one is saying that women, especially Christian women, should not dress themselves appropriately. But as far as what's happening today, it's gone to another level, which promotes other things like promiscuity, sexual connotation. That's not where we want to go as Christians. We want to maintain a righteous and holy life and actually have and be pleasing to what God intended us to be. As a pastoral epistle of Paul, First Timothy is a letter of instruction and encouragement written by Apostle Paul to Timothy, who was overseeing the church of Ephesus. Paul calls for petition and prayers, intercession, and thanksgiving to be made for all people. And so that the purpose of it is that we may live peacefully and live in quiet lives in godliness, okay, and holiness. That is the purpose. Therefore, I want men everywhere, he says, to pray, lifting up holy hands without anger or disputing one another. I also want the women to dress modestly. It says this with decency and propriety, adorning themselves. And so that is literally a directive from Apostle Paul. Now, all these are appropriate for women who profess to worship God. And these commands for behavior and appearances are linked to worship of God and to public witness. Okay. First Peter chapter 3, verse 1 to 4. Let's see, gives us similar instructions. It says, wives, in the same way, submit yourselves to your own husbands, so that if any of them do not believe the word, they may be won over without words by the behavior of their wives when they see the purity and reverence of your lives. So it comes down to the purity and reverence, folks, of who you are, both inwardly and outwardly. Now, at the core of dressing modestly is reverence for God. Rather than seek to garner attention elsewhere through appearances, godly women are to seek to glorify God, especially Christian women. Of course, the same principle also applies to men. You see, both men and women are called to honor God in all aspects of their lives, including in how they dress. Instead of focusing on societal impressive exterior, believers are to grow in godly character, Rather than be known for their clothing or hairstyle, they should be known for how they honor God. Jesus told his followers, "You are the light of the world." A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others. Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5, verses 14 through 16. Now, dressing modestly often requires us to check our motives. Okay? It does. Are we dressing a particular way to draw attention to ourselves? To feel superior to others, maybe? These are questions. To engender jealousy in others? To incite lust? That's really the core of it. To incite lust, to get attention, to incite lust to others out of an idolatry? These are great questions. So, if so, we need to check our hearts, possibly change our clothes. It's also important to consider the cultural and situational context. For example, in the United States, it would be immodest to wear a ball gown to serve a, to serve in a soup kitchen, right? But the same gown might be appropriate at a charity fundraising event, you see? Our clothes should demonstrate a right understanding of God, a right understanding of ourselves, and respect for the people who are around us. Proverbs 31 to 30 gives the wisdom. It says, "Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised." May our clothing choices be grounded in glorifying God and focusing on that which is of eternal worth. Matthew chapter 6 verse 19 to 21. Let me repeat. Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys and where thieves do not break in and steal. For wherever your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Folks, this is a great teaching for all of us. And I hope this teaching found you well. The next time you dress, think, am I dressing for the Lord, or I am dressing for other ulterior motives? Until the next video, have a great, great, great Friday. And don't forget, Jesus loves you, and I do too. Aloha.